Thank you, everybody, for coming. I think you've all kind of met us by now, but if not, I'm Alison Pitt. I'm a BI specialist at JLL. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn. If you can, drop me a little note. I'm really bad with faces and names, but I want to try and add everybody who's in the group, so come and find me. And this is Gemma.
Hey, everybody. I am also a BI specialist at JLL. I've been using Tableau for years, and I love it.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should say that too. For those who haven't heard the speech before, I started using Tableau in 2020. I got laid off in the pandemic, like a lot of people, and retrained because everything was free. So, and then just kept doing it. And the hashtag DataFam and all that, like led immediately to me it didn't immediately lead to me getting my current job, but there was a direct line. Basically, I got my job through other DataFam people. So that's part of why I'm here. So, all right. So today, we've kind of done the introductions, but I've got some community updates to talk you through. Gemma's going to do a Tableau tip on some text tables, right?
Yep.
It's going to be good. And then we've got some OCTUG Viz challenges to share. I know, Hawk, you have one, right?
Yeah, I could probably share my screen.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. You should have had an email with a Zoom link. So
Yeah.
and if anybody else has done one, I'd love for you guys to share it. If you haven't done one at all and you're like, I don't know if I can, just please be brave and do it, because it helps. Whatever, I'll give you the speech later. OCTUG Viz challenges are later, and then we have a fun Tableau Kahoot. There's some stuff about Tableau in there, some stuff about Orange County, and hopefully it will be educational and fun. And we have 2 small pieces of swag to give away to winners if you're here in the room. And then we just have some time at the end. We've got a charty party, we've got pizza, we've got, I don't know, other stuff. Just play with. Yeah, to just hang out and chat, because we were having a good discussion earlier. Right, so just to cover our mission again, Gemma and I feel really strongly that we want to create a community of Tableau enthusiasts that are local to Orange County, because there's so many good tech companies and such a good professional networks here that we want to connect us all in person, because that's really the way you grow your career. And also because we're giant Tableau nerds. We just like talking about, like, my partner does not care about Tableau. They have a passing interest. They think it's cool, but I can't really be like, I just did this amazing calculated field. And he's like, what? So anyway, yes, thank you for coming, and hopefully we'll keep it going. All right, some community updates to tell you guys about in case you haven't already heard. And I would recommend that you sign up for the Tableau newsletter or the DataFam roundup. You can get a lot of this information just straight to your inbox. The most recent one is that Tableau 2024.1 is out. We've got Tableau Pulse personalized metrics, and the metric layer is available now. You have to be using Tableau Cloud. So if you're just working off Tableau Public right now, all that's going to not be relevant to you. But I can say that I went into a pretty deep dive of Tableau Pulse at Tableau Conference, and it's a really, really interesting product. The concept of the metrics layer and how they're kind of building a semantic layer for all of your metrics that can then be kind of self-serve is a really interesting concept. I'm looking forward to eventually using something like it. I don't know when that will filter down. We're like on 2022.
Yeah, we're on 2022.3.
Yeah. So sometimes enterprise gets the latest version of Tableau like many years late. Anyway, there's also some, the other big one was keyboard navigation for text tables, which is an accessibility feature. There's a whole bunch more small updates too. I'll send out this slide deck later so you can click through it and look at a bunch of those too. Remind me of your name? Jagdish. Mentioned Tableau Plus. The launch of the Tableau Plus premium cloud offering is out now. With the news that Einstein Copilot will only be part of Tableau Plus. It's a little bit disappointing, but it just sort of offers that extra tier of sort of AI-enabled Tableau stuff. there's a new cohort of Tableau Public featured authors. There are actually some big names in there, so you should click through and have a look at those guys. They do some good work. And also, have you guys all heard of the Tableau Ambassador program? No? So Tableau ambassadors, and there are different flavors of Tableau ambassadors for the community forums, for social media, for Tableau Public, for data devs, for user groups. There's a whole bunch of stuff. They take nominations from everybody to nominate people who are leaders in that space. And so you can nominate somebody for it. You can nominate yourself for it if you would like to do that. The nominations are open through July 11th. And you get a whole bunch of perks if you end up being an ambassador. There are some requirements, like certain levels of activity. If you want to be a community forum ambassador, for example, they do expect you to be in the forums and helping people. But you also get a lot of perks on the other side because you get swag, you get discounted tickets for Tableau conference. There's a whole bunch of stuff. It's also a badge of honor. You can put that on your, profiles and stuff like that. So it's a really great program. Check it out. If you know somebody who's a leader in the space or somebody that you follow on social media, for example, I would encourage you to nominate them. The worst that happens is nothing happens. So. Okay.
Gemma. What's that?
Let's see if I can figure out how to share Tableau. Okay. Can you see it? Can you use it?
Yep.
Do you know how to use a Mac?
That was not what I signed up for. But hey, everybody. My tip for you today is about text tables. I know as people who work in Tableau and who love Tableau, we love the data visualization. But in practice, a lot of times when you're building things out for work, there are just a certain set of projects or people that really enjoy text tables. So a lot of times when we were building out text tables, we we usually have like measures and values that we're aggregating by. So a lot of times you might just, I don't know, throw on your measure names up here, throw your measure values on your text mark, and then, let's try that again. Text mark, press yes. Okay, great. And then maybe you'll like take your measure names and add them to your filter card and right click on a Mac. Okay, but yeah, great. So you can go in here and build your text table, and this is perfect. Love it. But what if you want to build a text table? Hey, Chris. Got distracted. Hey, everybody. That's Chris. He's great. So this is a great way to build a table if you have something that you're aggregating by and that you're trying to summarize. But what if you're building a table and measures aren't really something that you want to summarize? What if the point of your table is to focus on primarily dimensions and not measures? So I'm just gonna build out something really quick. I'm just gonna maybe you'll want to summarize by, or maybe you'll want to have a table with some customers on it and not like a bazillion customers on it. And you want to talk about what they're purchasing specifically. So I'll open up this thing. And then maybe you want to consider their dates. So you might want to like look at their ship date and you can put it here. Wait. Oh, I don't remember how to right click. Right click. Click right click. Yeah.
Option and pull.
Option. Yep. So I'm gonna like use my fingers over pressing it really hard.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. So you can put your ship date maybe, and you just want to see the date detail here. And this is fine. It's something that I have done before. I was looking for order date. Oh, order date up here. So I'm gonna, just option. Nope. Friends, thank you so much for your patience. We're just gonna grab you and stick you here. Sure. Cool. That wasn't a right click, but okay, so. All right, well, you kind of get the point that I was just trying to show some dimensions, not really any measures. In the past, maybe I would have, I don't know, tried to shrink down this measure area. You could, this is turning into just all the ways that I've tried to make text tables like this work, but maybe you put a blank space and then just try to minimize the size. So put like a blank space up in your text. And then that kind of gets rid of the ABC, and you can format and get rid of these column lines. So that's one way to do it. And one way that I've done it in the past. Sometimes when you put it on a dashboard and things get filtered around, though, this area gets kind of big or weird looking. So I recently learned a new method that I've kind of started using everywhere. Where I'm gonna again just filter this down a little bit. Maybe pick a couple dimensions to stick on here again. But instead of going through and just kind of making the table to fit with only dimensions, we could create a calculated field that just kind of like makes an axis and makes the space. So a lot of times we use like an average of 0 just to create that axis for us. And what we do is like we put it here. And another great thing about this is that it gives you something to hover for a tooltip. So you've seen that I'm placed 2 average of 0s on here. I'm gonna try to right click and dual axes. Okay, forget dual axes. Love that. So now you have an axis, and you have these different types of marks that you can pick. So for the first mark, I'll make a circle. I'll make it totally transparent. And for the second mark, I'll make it a text label item, and we can drag in something that's a dimension, like our order date, and we'll stick it there. So, love that. Well, it's like the amount of aggregation that you're trying to show. So I'm realizing that now as we're doing this, I want to stick an index or something on here. Anyway, this is one way that I have started making some detail tables for people to enjoy. Make it discrete. Okay. This is great at exemplifying that like I get used to doing something a certain way. And it's like through right clicking.
It's not fair though, because like you're switching to a Mac, like you get into that. Like I have an advantage because basically I do everything Tableau public, I do on my Mac.
Ah, I see.
Tableau, so I think of them as 2 different, like just.
So when we left off, we had these, oh yeah, okay, so we have our dates in here. I am learning how to edit axes without right clicking. Does anyone know how to edit axes? Right click. Yeah,
Okay, so right click is 2 fingers.
2 fingers. Got it. Okay, you're so gentle with this. Okay, So, actually, I wanted to edit this one. First one. So, we know that I've put ship date on the label, so it's showing that. However, I want the axes to reflect that. So we're gonna do a little bit of hacky stuff here. I'm gonna take off the tick mark so that we don't see that 0 at the bottom. And then I'm gonna take off this label. I'm gonna try to the Control A. Maybe I should get a Mac. What do you guys think?
So next time, I'm just gonna bring my HDMI adapter and then I will.
Maybe I should like pick up more skills and expand my brain. Okay, so you say double finger this. Oh no, dude. Maybe I can like through you just do this. Okay, so similarly, okay, cool. So similarly, we're gonna remove our tick marks here so we don't see that 0. And then we're gonna change our labels to ship date. And there we are. So we have like one mark. So what I like about this is that you can take, I don't know, this is usually like when I try to have a table about events, but maybe there's like another one where we will just you can sit down. It's okay. Okay, I might be able to get, who knows? I don't know. I'll do the same thing. Wait, pick our circle, make it really small, and make it really transparent, and stick our order date onto our label.
We want to use validate.
Okay, we can put our, I don't know, what do you want? Segment?
Yeah.
Okay, or like ship type? Okay. Cool. That is still not a text. Hold on. So we have a text. There. Love it. Gonna do our dual axes so they're together, maybe, and then to click it. Cool. And then we put a segment. This is not can't spell. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll make our things like that. And then like Thanks for the recommendation, Allison. And we're gonna double click here and then we'll edit our axes again, taking off our tick marks. So you can kind of do this for a number of dimensions. What I like about it is that it lets you have a tooltip so you can kind of customize what goes on there. And then whatever is left is to clean up the formatting. So I'm just gonna learning how much I right click. Format. And we'll take off the grid lines or the 0 lines for our stuff. Well, that's fine. I'm realizing now. So my grid lines are gone. And, you know, even if you wanted to just not even draw attention to the fact that your these dimensions are getting separated from these dimensions, you might want to get rid of those column dividers. And then there you go. There's a text table that has dimensions, so you're not summarizing, and you have sweet tooltips that you can customize. So that's my tip for you all today. I hope you like it. Or give it a shot.
I love it, because I've done that. I've done the text on the axis before, but I've never done it with the dual axis that you have a tooltip.
Thank you.
So the benefit of this over a normal text table is just the tooltip?
Well, and also just, I feel like there's this awkwardness of if you don't have like a measure to summarize, Like if you have a measure, definitely measure names, measure values, do that. But if you don't, then it has this like awkward spacing that maybe isn't the best. And you don't get the tooltip, like as nice of a tooltip. So this is a kind of cosmetic, but also I find it's helpful.
You scroll
Yeah.
over to the line. Space.
No,
Uh,
actually, the benefit with this kind of charts are, not just the templates, but the formatting of it. So
Yeah.
as an example, let's suppose that you guys are building some KPI dashboard or something, right? You want a specific column to be colored in the middle, but not the other one, right?
Mhm.
So generally with Tableau, what happens is you can
Yeah,
have a
that's true.
metric, right? You can only do it for your right side sub columns.
Mhm.
But with this thing, right, you can do anything. In the center, you want it color, but you don't want the other cells to be filled this way, like.
Yeah. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah, you don't have that awkward like weird space inside.
Yeah. It's funny, I had to, I saw someone else's dashboard at work and I ended up having to like pull it apart and I was like, how did they do this with the column labels? Like, why does it look so good? Why is what I'm doing not look so good? So it was really satisfying to pull it apart, and understand how to rebuild it for my own purposes. So I dig it.
I think also just adding up to that, right? The reason for doing dual access there is to put the label from bottom to up. Otherwise, what happens is if you just put one metric, it will show at the bottom rather than on the top. So
Mhm.
that's another trend to get the dual access concept.
Yeah. It does look nice. Thank you.
Okay, so the next part of the day is really our OCTUG Viz challenges. So the Orange County Viz Challenge, TUG Viz Challenge is something that we are encouraging people to do. It's Viz what you know, it's in our community. And I recently did something in our community, which was serve jury duty. If you're not aware of it, it's a fundamental part of our judicial system. And this is why I'm like, how much talking should I do about jury duty? It's so fundamental that it's our Sixth Amendment, and part of the reason why is because before in colonial times, they would have trials, but the king could stack the jury full of people that he picks and people that would vote in favor of whatever the king wanted. So it's very important to us as Americans that when there's a trial, it's public, it's speedy, and they're entitled to an impartial jury of people that are their peers. So people that live in the area are summoned to participate. So it was my first time participating in jury duty and going through that jury selection process. So I thought it was pretty exciting. And so when I showed up to jury duty, there were like 100 people, and I was like, okay, that's a lot of people. Where you're gonna pick like 12 people to be jurors, so okay, you have a big pool of people. And then when we went into the courtroom, the judge said, hey, so I can acknowledge that sometimes participating in jury duty, especially for a case that's 12 days long, that might cause some people undue hardship. Like they may not be able to do this because they are nursing mothers, or they're unable to find childcare, or for some reason it may cause financial burden. It's totally understandable. So she excused everybody that could not claim undue hardship. And then, like, what's going on here?
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I just kept noticing that it kept lighting up green, so I think it was hooking up the air conditioning.
Anyway, so she said, people who want to claim undue hardship, please stay and I will interview you. And then everyone else return on Tuesday. And when I returned, it turned out that there was a whole other jury pool of 80 people that were pulled and went through the same thing. So it seemed like they wanted a lot of people to be able to choose from. So here I was using a Sankey chart to show jury pool 1 versus jury pool 2 and how they kind of move through the jury selection process. So people who were excused because of undue hardship, they fall into this category. When when I returned, I was wondering about the attrition rates. And then that's when I started, I don't know, getting nerdy about it. So I downloaded a counter app on my phone and I was just like, let's count how many people from jury pool 1 returned and how many people from jury pool 2 returned. And let's just see what that looks like. And then I got carried away, maybe. So anyway, between the 2 jury pools, 101 people returned to the courthouse to be assessed. And then the judge goes and pulls people up to the jury box and starts interviewing them and asking them and imparting upon us like the value in being impartial, because that's what they want. They want impartial people to judge the case. And she would ask questions like, do you think you can set aside your whatever biases you have against people, you know, conscious or unconscious, to make impartial decisions on the result of this trial? And so that's what I've marked as considered. So she's considered in total 34 people. So what happens is those people are interviewed and then the attorneys get to interview them a bit and ask questions. And then between the 3 of them, if any of them decide to kick somebody out of the jury, that's it. So they're kind of unanimously deciding which people are acceptable for the trial or which people aren't a good fit. So we have the people that were considered and some of them moving on to become jurors. They've been selected as jurors, whereas some people, 19 people were interviewed and for some reason were not necessarily a good fit for the case. And then what's funny is that jury pool 1 was 100 people initially. They never pulled anybody from jury pool 2 to the stand to interview them. So all those people that came in, they just ended up just getting excused, but they were there to just be available in case everyone from jury pool 1, I think, was considered not suitable. Anyway, so that's a visualization of what happened at jury selection. What's up?
Can you read the top, from the top, because I can't read it from here.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the top 2 bars?
The top 2 bars. Oh, jury pool 1 and jury pool 2. So this is considered excused due to hardship, and then I don't know how to close this menu. But the other one would be just excused but not considered. And then I had everybody that was excused for some reason or another flow down into excused. And then this hover is just aggressive right now. Check. Okay, whatever. And then everyone that was selected as a juror or a backup juror was put into this pool. For this one, I used a Sankey template by Ken Fleurlage. And I also spent time trying to pull apart that dashboard, but could not figure it out yesterday afternoon. So I'm thankful that the template worked pretty reasonably easily. Does anybody have any other questions about this viz or jury duty? Has anybody served jury duty? What's up?
Yeah.
On his blog, so the Fleurlage twins have a blog where they go through the details of creating these Sankey charts and different types of Sankey charts, which is really cool. And this particular one I found on Tableau Public, and you could download it. Other questions? Cool. Do you want to share your viz?
And I'll do mine really quick, and then we can go on to Kahoot. Oh, if I can find my.
Guess we could give feedback.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, because I think we have the room until 3. Yeah. So we should we could have a round table and talk about if you want feedback.
This OCTUG is not based on a specific data set, it's just show a pool viz you've done.
We would encourage you to do something that's relevant to like Orange County, because but anything that you want to, I think bring it. Yeah. Where's mine? I just saw it. Oh, there we go. All right. So one of the things that I like doing is looking at the just the various Orange County data portals that we have. And one of the ones that I found recently was on ArcGIS. The OC Public Works actually has several data sets that are on there. I would mention that I think I'm not 100% sure that they're curating their data that well, because a lot of it has no license, which is weird. It indicates that maybe they're not aware that they're publishing things publicly. But anyway, so yeah, if you search ArcGIS Orange County, California, you will find their portal, and there's a whole bunch of stuff on there, anything to do with public works, there's parks, there's all the shape files for Orange County cities, watersheds, all kinds of stuff. It's fascinating if you're into maps. And I found a data set that is a subset of a USGS survey that was done using LiDAR, and it identified 1.6 million trees in Orange County. And so I just thought it was kind of interesting, especially because I really like the jacaranda trees when they're in bloom. They smell so nice and they look really pretty. And so I wanted to be able to see them from an overhead view. So what I did was, 1.6 million data points on a map actually slows the whole thing down like a lot. So what I did instead was focus on a mile radius at a time. And yeah, that's basically a filter. I worked out a way to use parameters to select a point, and then you can work out the distance using the spatial function of distance, and then I just applied that in a filter. So that's how it's no more fancy than that to do the big map.
Is it just generating a random coordinates using latitude and longitude?
You mean for the selection or for the trees themselves?
Selection of the.
So the selection is actually from this mini map down here. Oops, I did not mean to
Oh,
zoom.
it's point and click.
Yeah, so you could click on it and it should move. It's gonna be really slow. That would be my next tier of whatever it would be, to try and make it go a little faster, because it takes a long time to generate these. If I aim for Irvine, somewhere around here.
What's the green?
One tree per row. Yeah, it's basically latitude, longitude, height, canopy width, and if it's available, the type of tree it is. But they've only identified palm trees, eucalyptus trees, jacaranda trees, and other. So you can see the majority of the data set is the gray, which is the other ones. And then I ordered them in terms of height, so it's kind of like faking what they would actually look like from top down. But yeah, that's it. And you can zoom, you can actually zoom in. Hi. What are you doing? You can actually zoom in pretty far. And you can see all the individual trees. So it's kind of fun to play around with. Probably the hardest bit was getting the little mini map, because normally you can't just click on a place on the map and have a parameter pick it up. What that is under the hood is actually each of those 1.6 million rows. I should have done it in bins, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Now that I'm saying it out loud. I made it into a grid. So basically you can't see it because it's a bunch of invisible points, but there's a square grid that goes across Orange County. So you can actually pick points out in the middle of the ocean, which is kind of pointless. But when you click on one of those points, it stores that lat and lon, and then moves the big map to compensate. Yeah, you can kind of see it moving around there. Keep trying to like zoom in, thinking that maybe I'll get like where we are right now, but I think that's too. Anyway, it was fun. The mini map thing and doing that little selection was kind of a fun exercise to do. And I enjoyed that.
What is the bigger circles versus the smaller circles?
It's the size of the canopy. I didn't put it in there because it didn't really matter, and I couldn't figure out a good place to put the, like, to put the little scale thing, so I just didn't. Normally, it's probably best practice to actually, if you've got points that are different sizes, to actually put what they mean, but I didn't, so. Anyway, that's it. Thank you. Go find all those cool data sets, because there's cool stuff in there.
So what was the website again? Sorry.
I can't remember. I think it's data-ocpw.arcgis.com or something like that. I actually have it on the Viz, I think. Yeah, data-ocpw.opendata.arcgis.com. There's a whole bunch of different stuff. If you're looking for something specific, you might not get lucky, but if you're not looking anything specific, you probably find some interesting stuff. All right, so the last thing we wanted to do is a Kahoot. Does everybody know what Kahoot is? Okay, so you can play Kahoot through your, if you have it on your phone, you can play it, or you can go to kahoot.it. And I'm trying to figure out how you share it. The window keeps moving around.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay. So that's your game pin, if you wanna grab it. I don't know if it'll pick up that QR code. It might be a little blurry. I wonder if it's playing music at me right now. Yeah. It's the default Kahoot. Is that a snowman? Nice. I tried to mix it up with some easy ones and some ones that you'll never get, so. Is everybody in that's trying to get in? Anybody still trying to get in? No? Okay. All right, hopefully this works. All right. Okay, so our first category is all about using Tableau. Okay, how many measures do you need to create a scatter plot? The correct answer is 2. The correct answer is 2. I think, yeah. You could put other things on there, but yeah, the 2 axes are both measures, which funnily enough, that used to make me insane when I was first learning Tableau. I did not understand that at all, and I could not fathom why I couldn't create a scatter plot. Anyway. All right. Christian. Wait, who's Christian? Oh, that's good. Okay.
Oh, is it because that was faster?
Oh, yeah, it judges on your speed and your correct answer. So who dares wins if you don't know the answer, you got to be fast on your guess. All right, let's go. True or false? You can only create hierarchies with 3 or fewer levels. True or false? Okay, it's false. Correct. Everybody got that right. Woo. All right. Oh, Christian pulling away. Jag. Nice. All right, next. What is the most recent Tableau release? Were you paying attention earlier in the presentation? 2024.1 is the correct one. Ooh, there's a lot of shifts happening, but not in first place. So, all right. I believe this one's actually for double points. Bonus brownie points if you know what movie that is a quote from. That's correct. The limit does not exist. I imagine there's probably a practical limit. If you start putting 10,000 map layers on it, it probably wouldn't work, but there is no official limit. Does anybody know what movie that's from? Gemma does. It's from Mean Girls. Right, let's see how the scoreboard looks. Oh, Christian's been knocked off the top spot. All right, so. Oh, this is the double point one. Sorry, everyone.
That's the trick.
Yeah, well, it was double as well because the measures are normally green, but a discrete measure is blue. But then I messed up the colors. I was having a lot of fun last night. Yes, as Gemma points out, it is using pre-attentive attributes against you. Right. Oh, a little bit of movement. All right. Okay, so the next section, next 5 questions are on Tableau, history, and community. Which of the following is not a real Tableau community project? Answer is Feedback Friday, although there really should be one, because as soon as I came up with that, I was like, there should be a Feedback Friday. Anyway, and for the other ones, you should all do all of the other community projects because they're good. The best thing about community projects, if you haven't got involved with them, is that they are run by people who curate the data sets for you. And so if you are want to stretch your skills, you get good data sets from them. Turtle, who's Turtle? Turtle? I like it. All right. How many vizzes roughly are on Tableau Public? You might know this if you already subscribed to their blog. The answer is 7 million. A lot. And there are roughly 3 million public profiles. Oh.
I'm not even on the board.
It's all right. There's still plenty of time. There's a lot more questions, so it's good. All right, this one's a slider. When was Tableau founded? I'm finding old screenshots of Tableau for this.
Let's go. Oh, dang.
No, sorry, no, it's gonna scooch around a little bit until it.
What
Just to be exact.
Oh, okay.
It is actually 2003.
Bring it
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
One person, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, you're back on the front page. That's good. All right. Next up. Where will Tableau conference be held in 2025? This should be an easy one, hopefully. Ruby, San Diego. It's the same place as it was this year. All right. Says they type in your answer for double points. How many pluses are in the Tableau Sparkle? I'm gonna give you a hint so you could wait. How fast can you type? The correct answer is 9. Wow, only one person got it. Turtle, did you get that one correct? No, wow. That was a tough one. Okay, so the last 5 questions are all about Orange County history and community. Another slider. How many million people live in Orange County? Tried to mix it up with all the different types. Yeah, so the higher the bars, the more people answered them. Yeah, for these sliders, you get points if you're within a certain range and how it counts on your timing and how close you were, so. But nobody got it right, 3.2 million. 3.1 is close because I believe it's 3.15 or something like that. All right, not a lot of movement. How many people sit on the Orange County Board of Supervisors? There's no excuse for everybody not knowing this. Oh, you'll get bonus points from me if you know what district you live in. That's correct. 5. There's 5 Board of Supervisors, and they rotate. They're not all up for election every election. So find out what you're in. I believe here we're in 3. They redistricted recently. Wow, still not a lot of movement. Okay. We've got some wild card questions. It depends on if you guys really know what's going on in Orange County, you might get lucky. Right. Which of these game companies does not have offices in the OC? The answer is Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Everybody else, MobilityWare is just down the road actually in Irvine, and of course Blizzard. Sega has a US office, and Ubisoft is actually in Los Angeles, so it's close. All right, second to last. Which of these FANG companies does not have offices in the OC? You're an insider, so you can at least one of them.
Let's go.
The answer is Netflix. They also have offices in Los Angeles, but not down here. All right. It's not a lot of movement at the top here. All right. Okay. Another slider, and this one's double points. How big in square miles is Orange County? There's wins. Make your guess good. No, it's still gonna do its weird thing.
I think he says answer.
948. So who are the two people just on, just either side? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good estimate, because I would not have guessed at all. Yeah. All right, podium in third place, Christian, nice. Second place, Jem. And in first place, Turtle. Well done. Well done. Well done, everybody. There were some tough questions in there, so. Yeah.